Howdy, and welcome back to Transformers the Game! As you recall, yesterday I showed you the final enhanced Autobots, and now I am back to finish the job with the fully enhanced Decepticons. I'm gonna try and rush through this as quickly as I can. We'll be heading back to the suburbs because yes, so let's just get the show on the road, shall we? We are of course starting off with the Decepticon Barricade. Okay, now Barricade, he's had some slight changes. Nothing over the top, but some minor stuff, you know? Some minor stuff. So let's run through him. Alright, turn around, turn. Okay, well, starting with the shoulders. His shoulders now have a purplish something on the near like the back edge of it. I was using the final CGI render as reference, so that's where all these changes are coming from. I believe there was a something on the we'll get to that later. His arms, the purple color he had has been upped up a bit because it was just a little too low, too faint. So I've upped that up. I've also added some purple to the arms right over there because that was something he was missing. He also has a section on the top of his foot right there. It was black originally. It was supposed to be gray. So I fixed that to appear properly. Turn around. I think that part right there near his shoulders right there. Yeah, that was like something it shouldn't be. I made it to black. That's such an insignificant part. I don't know why I'm even mentioning that, but I did that. Yeah. Like I said, Barricade does not have a lot to him. Like, at all. Well, I'll show you a comparison all the same. Here's the front, the side, and the back. Yeah. There are no significant changes to alt mode that I can recall, so we're just gonna skip that and head straight to the next character. And up next, we have Blackout. Oh me, oh my. This guy's had some work done, let me tell you. My word, he had some work done. Alright, well, the first major change is his overall color. I think his original color was like a really light blue, and if you look at the final CGI render, it's much more of a faint, darker blue. So that has been done. His overall color scheme has been darkened because, well, he really needed it. But there was a lot of small touch-up work that went into him, quite a bit, in fact. If we start with his head, if I can get a good look, yeah, his head was missing a lot of blue parts, so I've added those in. Might be a little hard to see because of the brightness of them, but they were darkened. His hands were originally gray. I have made them to blue. A lot of stuff's just been, and for the most of him was just changing him to have parts be blue. That's it for the most part. From the back, that like port right there, like in the middle of his back, that port thing with that's gray, that was originally like a bright brown or something. It's supposed to be gray, so I have fixed that to appear properly. He also had that spot right over there, the vent or whatever, that had like a really bright effect on it, and it should be the same color as the rest of him, so I believe that was a normal fix, maybe a spec one, but I made it to blend with the rest of him as well as I could. His backside, yes, I actually did something significant to his backside. His butt, frankly, is supposed to look, his cheeks are supposed to look exactly the same, and for whatever reason, his I his cheeks are asymmetrical for this game, but I took the liberty of mirroring the left cheek, or right, I don't remember. I just wanted to say that. But I took the liberty of mirroring those so they look exactly the same, so Blackout now has even cheeks. They look exactly the same. Weird change, I know, but yeah, I did that, so that's fixed. I think that's most of it for the upper side. Now his feet. Oh my goodness, his feet. Okay. Well, for the most part, a lot of parts down there were changed to be blue. You know, no surprise there. But here's the real kicker. That I had a heck of a fun time with. Strong sarcasm here. There were actually parts on his feet that were left black untextured. They're there, they're just untextured. And I had to go through every stinking little crevice of, or every blank space of a texture to figure out where these objects were and fill them in so they would have a texture. And I did it. You know, I did it. I don't know how I missed these things before, but I got them. So, yeah, when I show you the comparison, I'll point them out. Yeah, but yeah, I patched up his feet to be pretty much all blue and got rid of those black spots. So you're welcome. Yeah, I think that's about it for robot mode. I'll show you some comparisons now. Here's the front, and there's some of the black spots I mentioned. See? Yeah. I don't know how I missed those, but I got them. The side and the back. Alright. Now that takes care of robot mode, I'll showcase vehicle mode real quick. Not a whole lot done here. The only point I can honestly remember doing is ducking down the yellow by his windows a little bit, and crazy minor touch as this is, I ducked down some of the color in his engine over there to make it blue in a certain area. Don't ask why, I just did it. So yeah, that's all I can really remember. I think he already darkened him beforehand in an older version. I don't really remember, but yeah, that's about it for Blackout. He had quite a bit of work done, but he's definitely one of my favorites that I've done for sure. All right, let's get on to the next character. Up next, a new character, Bonecrusher. Now, some of you probably know Bonecrusher, much like Ironhide, was not in the original Enhancement Mod because, well, I didn't think he really needed anything, and for the most part, he really didn't. But there was one thing about him that just kept bothering me, and that was really just his brightness, which I frankly found puzzling. For whatever reason, especially on Airbase, he looks way too dark. And that's something I just did not get. I couldn't figure out why he looked so dark. So, this was a really simple enhancement. He's just, overall, just been brightened up in both robot and vehicle mode. Not very significant, but I figured it was worth doing all the same. I don't know why he was so dark. I mean, I took a look at his plain textures and they were pretty much fine. I don't know why, but, you know, whatever. Aside from that, the only other significant change I can mention is right in his head. And that is the inclusion of a little red spot in his optics. Now, it's not as clean, it's not the same texture format as the other optics, because those are totally separately placed on there. This one's like slapped onto a small texture on his eye, but it works surprisingly well. So, yeah, I like that. Everyone, a little bit of red in there. It looks good. It adds a bit more life to him because he didn't have anything to really indicate that he had eyes, but it looks really nice. Another really minor touch is that I slightly brightened up that part right there with the big sphere surrounded by that square thingy. Rectangle, square, whatever. Did that. Oh yeah, one other thing. I made a... so minor, but there's that piece right there. I made it so it's like a blacker hole and not whatever it was before. That's so minor, you probably don't even care, and I don't blame you. Yeah. That's honestly pretty much it. Not a whole lot done here, honestly. There really wasn't. Alright, well, I'll show you some comparisons real quick. Here's the front, the back, and the side. Yeah. Like I said, not a whole lot to him. I think I just kept the wheels the same color as they were before, so they would seem to match. Vehicle mode, not a whole lot to show here, just the same thing, brightened up a little bit. You know, here's a comparison shot just to show you, you know, whatever. Yeah. Not a whole lot to him, like I said. So, that's pretty much it for Bonecrusher. I will now move on to the next character who is another significant update. Up next, the Decepticon Brawl. Okay, now, Brawl in my original Enhancement Mod did not have a whole lot done to him, not really. But I have to admit, for as long as I've been looking at him, I'm like, something about this guy isn't right. I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but something was not right. And that's why I took another look at it. And what I decided was the case here was that there were two things. His color was too bold, and he had like too much color, you know. There was like bits of blue and green, mostly blue, I think. It was kind of just seeping out. So what I have done is change all the blues to kind of to match on one color. So it's kind of this faint green, yellowish color. Yeah. So that's his main change, is that his color was adjusted. But there are a few more things I have changed aside from that. Okay, I don't think anything's really done with the head that I need to mention. One of the more significant changes, I'm not sure if I mentioned this already, but the Decepticon symbol on his chest area right there has been removed because he's not supposed to have a symbol there. It's just supposed to be blank. So that has been done. Turn him around. The camo on his back cannons has been removed because, I mean, CGI reference is a bit of a pain for him. There is like a decent, semi-decent reference I used, and you know, it's not great, but it's the best I can work with. So obviously this won't be super detailed as like with Starscream or something, but you know, it'll have to do. I brightened up a certain section of his cannon to blend better because it was way too dark. I removed some camo on the back of his head. Darkened that piece right there. Probably gonna care about most of this minor part work. His gun right there, the big gun with the quad gun, the camo from that has been removed. Did not belong there. He's not supposed to have any camo from what I can tell. His minesweepers, at least their tips have been made silver, I believe. He's got some more brownish orange on him. Stay still, you. Stop it. Just turn. Okay. Yeah. The first bit is over near his hip right there. And then there's the bit on the legs right down there. I think one of them was already, but I upped it up a little bit so it would stand out a little more. Yeah, and I think on the back of the legs too. And there was a part that was reddish orange but shouldn't be. That was that piece right there. That's what made the whole green to match what it's supposed to have. I feel like there was something else. Oh yeah, his blade. That part right there was originally like a yellow, kind of bronze orangish thingy. Reference indicates it's supposed to be silver, so I have done that to make it match the CGI render. And I think that's about it. Again, it's not a significant overhaul, but it's enough to make it look, I think, just a little bit better, and I like it. I think it looks very nice. Here are some comparisons real quick. Front, side, and back. Yeah, that's pretty much it for Brawl. Let's bring on the next character. Up next, G1 Megatron. Okay, now, he's had a few little changes done. Yes, he's animated. I forgot I was doing something at the time, but it's fine. It's fine. Okay, I'll see if I can remember what I did. Okay, no, first of all, I added a missing circle on his ab section right over there. I can't remember if it was the... I did something, and I think the square was reduced in size. I don't remember. Really minor stuff. Okay, I think part of his hips were not the dark metal, so I had to change that. I think there was some more red he needed. I don't really remember where. It's been a while. I don't really remember what I did, okay? Yeah. I think there was something with his foot. I think that piece right there was like dark metal. I really don't remember, but I changed it to match what reference I had. Nothing major, but I'll mention it all the same. Since we're on the topic of Megatron, I'm just gonna say that he has not changed at all from the previous incarnation, but I will show comparisons all the same, so we'll just get that out of the way. Get that out of the way real quick. Here's front, back, side. Yeah, that's nothing really has changed for him. And here's a comparison with Jet. Alright, now as for G1 Megatron, here are his comparisons, which is front, back, and side. Yeah. Like I said, nothing super major, but I'm mentioning it all the same because I like to be thorough. And if you ever wondered, if you ever wanted to have Megatron belly slide across the ground, well, now you can do that. Let's go! Okay, what does that look like, really? I wonder if Optimus can do this. Alright, that's enough messing around. On to the next character. Up next, we have little Scorponok. Now, Scorponok was pretty simple as far as his changes were. Oh, he can still move. How about that? I guess it is him that I'm playing as, so I guess that makes sense. Yeah, not a whole lot to him, but I'm going to do it all the same. His original texture was very blue. They have a lot of blues in this game for some reason, but Scorponok's more of a silver, so I have taken out all the blues so that he is silver, and I think his secondary parts were like too yellow, and I adjusted them to make them more of a red. Yeah, that's honestly all I can really remember doing. It's just a simple change, very simple change, but it looks nice. In case you're curious, here's some comparisons with the front. Yeah, not a lot to it, but it's a nice change all the same, so yeah. Next character. Up next, Decepticons Starscream. Okay, this guy's had some more work done than you might actually expect. Yeah, that might surprise you how much I changed him since you last saw him. Alright, well, I'll just get one of the main things right off the bat. One of his main fixes, and it's definitely a fix, is that if you look back to the older character, he had this problem of having some really weird black shade over some of his parts, most notably the hands and knee pads, and maybe somewhere a bit on the feet as well, but I found the cause of that. Why it's a problem, I don't know, but for some reason his normals give him a darker shade in areas that he really should not have. So I have fixed pretty much all of those dark black areas that were coming through. So now you get a much sharper, cleaner Starscream, and it's really gonna help future skins going forward here. So that was a great fix. Great fix. So that's one of the main things I did. Aside from that, he's mostly the same from what you've seen, but there are some slight adjustments. His camo on his vertical stabilizers has been redone to be a bit cleaner, and it's also been removed from the back. There's no FF or no logos on the back of the vertical stabilizers, so that was repaired. A lot of his internal organs, if you want to call them, his inner workings have been dulled out to be gray, so they don't stand out too much. Because if you look at the CGI render, there's not a lot going on in there, so that is something I have done. You can look how much cleaner his knee pads, and I think he had a bit of dark shade on his feet as well. Can't really remember. Most of the changes are on the back. And mostly on his wings, because he's got some pattern correction. It's better if I just show you a comparison so you can see the difference. Here's a comparison for the back. Yeah, the inclusion of those those lines and the wing itself. And there's also some other things, but I can't really describe them, so you'll see them in the comparison. Here's the front and the side. Yeah. I gotta tell you, fixing that shade problem it just brings this guy to life so much more. One thing I just remembered is that I did darken his head a little bit from where it was before, because it was like it was a little too bright compared to the rest of the body, so that's been fixed, but yeah. His jet mode has undergone a change, so I will cue up a clip of that. I'm actually using for this the Revenge of the Fallen texture, and he has camo this time, because I honestly wasn't sure that camo would work for this particular character due to the mirroring, but it's not that bad, so I decided to roll with it. Cleaned it up a little bit to make it as seamless as possible. I tried to choose the best bits from my alternative looks texture, which side would look best, mainly with the horizontal stabilizers. And I think also removed the second FF logo on the vertical, so that he only has it on one side. Yeah. Most of it was just fixing up some tidbits so it came across a little cleaner, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with Starscream. Pretty happy indeed. Well, that leaves one more character to show off, so let's just get straight to him. And finally, Enhanced G1 Colors Starscream. Okay, two things I want to point off right out of the bat. First off, this is a whole new reskin. I did it all over again. Straight new, whatever. It's all new, completely redone. Second, I'm actually playing with the regular Starscream model because the G1 Colors version is missing some pieces on the back of his head. It's just yeah, it's just to showcase things a little better. But yeah, just a heads up, it'll look pretty much the same on the actual version, just with the head being a little wonky. Okay. Yeah. My original plan for my first take on G1 Color Starscream was, I believe, to match the Revenge of the Fallen version exactly. However, I decided I wanted to do my own take on G1 Color Starscream, and that's what this is. Similar in a lot of ways, but it has its differences as well. I'll just try to point out the main differences that I've done since then. His collar is blue. He's got a different decal on the wings right there. There's the blue triangles and that red line right there. I also love, it's a small touch, but I love the inclusion of the black on the top of the shoulder. Really settles the look, I think. It really needed that. He's got the same inner workings as the new Enhanced Starscream. I think think his shoulder was slightly brightened up. At least the upper edge was slightly brightened up from when you last saw it. Hands pretty much blue except for that white section right there. Turn around, you have the same pattern on the underside. A lot of blue going along in there. And his wings, I love his new wings. I can't remember the original deco for this, but I love the new red stripe on the wings. I love it. It's just a real good change. Love it. He's got that big blue thing in the middle of his back, on top of his back, or whatever. He's got a bit more color on his backside with that red and the blue. It kind of follows my Isolation Seekers, you know, from the Revenge of the Fallen Seeker pack. The deco kind of follows their pattern, just a little differently. He's got that blue section right there. His legs slightly changed. The blue is a little bit leaned out there. I think it used to go quite a bit further, but I decided to cut it a little bit because I felt it went too far. His feet are blue, white, you know, same kind of Seeker pattern as the others have. Yes. Some other, you know, minor details here and there, just to make it look as well as I can. Yeah, G1 Color Starscream is phenomenal. He was a much better update than the older version, which also carries over to his jet mode as well. Here I will cut to that. This is again a totally fresh reskin based off of the Revenge texture, but with again a different deco, kind of following the rest of my Seekers. Yeah. I think the colors are pretty similar to the Revenge version, but the pattern is slightly different. Here are some comparisons between the two. Here's front, side, and back. And here's some comparisons between jet mode. So yeah, G1 Color Starscream's a pretty solid update, for sure. And yeah, I think with that is the last enhanced character. That's it. This should be the last time I come back to this mod, because there shouldn't be anything more I need to do that warrants a whole new video. This should be the last time. You know, there might be a few like patches if I missed anything, but generally this should be it. Yeah. Well, that's it for this episode. Enhancement Mod is done. You can get it now. The link will be in the description. Enjoy, and I will see you in the next one where we do something. I don't know. So, till then, later.